Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your May 2020 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. Now, the scope of this reading is going to be from full moon to full moon, so from May 7th to June 5th. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm going to be moving your Queen of the Moon cards and your Moonology cards over to the side, actually like this, there we go. So when I take them up, there we go. And these are going to be layered on top of the tarot at the end to really give Luna a voice with the tarot, to give the moon a voice with the tarot and see how things are going to be interacting and moving forward. I have the moon all laid out here for us to talk about. And it really is a lovely moon. This is a full moon in Scorpio. The new moon is in Taurus. And the next full moon on June 5th is going to be in Sagittarius. This is by far like the most compassionate moon we could have, which I think is absolutely brilliant for this time. And Scorpio is the most intense sign in the zodiac. So it is also bringing a level of intensity and self-examination to this time that is really beautiful for us. So let's see here, angel and spirit guide message for Capricorn. How will Capricorn be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Capricorn be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Capricorn be affected by the May 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. So at the center of everything, we have the Tower, which is actually a really great sign, Capricorn. Six of Pentacles. Queen of Wands, a fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You are going to see that you have a very strong connection to the June 5th full moon in Sagittarius. Seven of Wands. Ten of Pentacles at your root. That is gorgeous. Five of Wands. The Wheel of Destiny, the Wheel of Fortune, that is beautiful. You have the repeat of the number 10. This is a completion of a cycle. The Four of Cups. Judgment, there with the Tower. That's a gorgeous combination. And you have the Magician with the Ten of Pentacles, which is, again, absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. All right, for you, Capricorn, during this time, you are going to find that, okay, you've taken on too much. And you need to give yourself permission to let go of things. Because trying to juggle everything in the air is going to make you feel as if you're just not doing anything right. And it's really going to give a sense of, you cannot be in every place that you want to be, that you need to be. And that is going to make you feel as if all this time is a Tower time that isn't balanced, that is taking and not giving. And that makes you turn away from the blessings that are coming your way. And that is going to be something that is very important for you to be mindful of during this time, because there needs to be a continuation, a moving forward with an honoring of the self, of yourself, of really being open and honest with yourself and saying, what do I want to take on? What do I need to take on? What needs my attention? And you might sit there and say, okay, the kids need my attention. I need to do this. And you might say, well, I don't want to. Well, you have to. So that's important. Or you have this to come in at work, or you have this to come in at school. And you're going to see that, yes, priorities need to be made that might not always seem as if they're honoring yourself right at this time, but because you are embracing in the responsibilities that you have and in the integrity of yourself, you will see that in the long run, it really does move you forward in honor, in compassion, in prosperity, and in the sense of profound and beautiful self-worth and power. Now, this moon talks about power and a surrendering to the divine. That's what the full moon is about. It is also about looking at the last lunar cycle and really having spotlights on things coming forward of where you want to improve. And that's going to be something that's very, very big for you. You're going to look at things that you want to improve on. And so that's going to have you taking even more responsibilities onto yourself, Capricorn, which is going to lead you to feel as if the scales are completely unbalanced and to lead to a bit of resentment as time moves on. That is why you're going to have to be so terribly diligent during this time to really look at what you're taking on, at the understanding of the resources that you have, but also the time that you have, and being kind to yourself with the resources, with your time as you're moving forward. And as you do so here, you're going to find that you attract to yourself what you are emotionally focusing on. Why? Because this is the last of the 4 supermoons that we've been in. So emotions run high is what we're seeing, but it also brings us and amplifies what we are seeking to attract to ourselves. And so here with this Scorpio full moon, emotions are going to be running high anyway. You're kind of going to feel things you are going to feel things astoundingly intensely, because this is a moon of compassion that leads to wisdom. This is a moon of a surrendering to the transformation of your personal self and what you want to achieve and what you're looking for, and a shining the light in the resources of our psyche that we say, oh no, I can't look at that. Oh no, I can't be like that. Because this is also a connection with the sacred darkness. And so if you are taking on so many responsibilities, Capricorn, that you cannot look at yourself, that is going to keep you from the beauty that this moon gives us and the transformation that this moon is offering. Right? So just be mindful of that. Because this moon, it has you blossoming. This is the flower full moon, right? There's a blossoming, there's a calling to the music of the self, and it is the Scorpio full moon, so it says it's time to release negativity. And that's really what you're going to see that you're doing. Yeah, during this time here, Capricorn, you are going to see that you are releasing the negativity that has kept you from growing, that has kept you from shedding a past skin, or shedding the skin that has kept you small, that has kept you, looking at things more chaotically than calmly. And that is going to be something that's very important for you during this time, is to release the negativity. And you won't release it and it'll never come back, because we as human beings, we're drawn to negativity. We are drawn to things that are challenges. We're drawn to really looking and understanding and maybe even at times obsessing over things that don't make us feel good, that make us feel inadequate. And so here, with the release of the negativity, it doesn't mean that it will never come back. It does mean that as you release it, you find that you stand taller, that you know yourself a bit more, and that you're giving yourself credit where credit is due. So you blossom into the power of you. And as you embrace the sacred darkness during this time, you are going to see that there is a power to you that you've been negating. Because so often, especially in our world today, we only want the beautiful things. We only want the filtered pictures, only things that bring a sense of, I don't want to say a sense of joy, but a sense of envy to everybody else, because we know what our lives are like behind closed doors. So when you see these beautiful pictures and these beautiful little videos of everybody just having a great time and everything being immaculate, you look at your life and say, well, that's not me. Why isn't that me? It's like, because that world is edited and our world isn't edited. So what you're going to see here is that as you embrace the sacred darkness, as you embrace the light, the joy, the happiness, the beauty, the serenity, the peace, the everything that you want within your life, but you also embrace the darkness. You say life is about suffering. In Buddhism, they say life is about suffering. In Christianity, we have, the picture, we have the image, not picture, but image of Christ nailed to a cross, a horrific way to die. And that's the ideology you turn to. And it's like, why is that the image? Well, because life is about suffering. It will nail you to the cross, and it will be so hard to move forward. It will be. And so here, when we look at that, when we look at the suffering of even the images that we're drawn to, even the darker side of movies that we are drawn to, or books or paintings or whatever, we have this craving to understand the darkness within, to understand the darkness around us. Because if we don't, it comes out like a starved wolf. It comes out wanting to be heard, needing to be heard, and seeking for its place. So it's better for it to have a place of acknowledgement and saying, I can be the tyrannical ruler of my existence, or I can be the benevolent ruler. Which one do I choose? And at times you're going to see that you vacillate between both. One has too many rules. It can, if you have so many rules, I'm not saying, you're Ivan the Terrible, but I am saying that, you can get to a very rigid, very kind of precise way of things that has no sparkle left to it. And if you go to being too benevolent, to trying to be so good to everybody that you forget yourself, I mean, those are two extremes that can destroy. And so during this time, you're going to see what needs to be addressed and what needs to be let go, because you're taking on so much that you need to have the strength within yourself to put down your foot and say, this is my line, this is my hill, this is where I stand, and this is what I stand for. On May 22nd, there's the Taurus new moon. And the Taurus new moon talks about beginnings, right? And it says here, a new start is coming. And you're going to feel that new start. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this new start forever. Why did it take so long? Because you need to embrace, and we need to during this time, to embrace the dark and the light, the sacred darkness and the sacred light as we move forward. It's kind of like Jung's shadow self. And Jung said, if you hide away from your shadow self, if you never see your shadow self, then the true horror starts. Because it will explode one day, or it will seep out culturally into different areas that becomes too much. And that is something to be very mindful of, and give great pause to. Because the new moon in Taurus says prosperity lies ahead. And you're going to see that your prosperity lies ahead. You're going to see what you're looking for. You're going to have glimpses of answers, which is what you love, Capricorn. You love glimpses of answers, you love schedules, and you might say, oh Dane, I don't like a schedule, but like, I'm working towards this goal. It doesn't mean that at 1 o'clock you have to do this, and at 1:15 you have to do that. Some of you Capricorns might be very, very good at it, and some of you Capricorns are going to absolutely reject that. So during this time, you're looking at the prosperity that lies ahead, and you're looking at what you need, what you desire, what you want. And as you see this, you are going to see that you walk between your winter and your summer. And that's very powerful for you. Because walking between the winter and the summer is walking between the extremes of our personalities. Now, for the Scorpio full moon and the Taurus new moon, the void of course for the Scorpio full moon is at 10:39 p.m. And this is when whatever you try is going to go exactly the opposite of the way you want it to go. So it's at 10:39 p.m. on the 7th of May, and it's at 4:01 a.m. on the 22nd of May. So during this time, if you could just kind of be asleep, or reading a book, watching TV, doing something very, very calm that doesn't really take any attention, that would be the best possible thing. Because even if, let's say, you're putting away laundry at the end of the day, or you're laying out things at the beginning of the day, if you're doing that during this time, and I would give yourself for the Scorpio, because of the intensity of the Scorpio full moon, I would give yourself from 10 o'clock to, you could even do 9:30 to 11:30 if you want to, but from especially 10 o'clock to 11:30, just giving yourself that window of, I'm not going to do anything that is big or important or even valuable during this time. I'm just going to take it and use it as valuable time for me to relax, to calm, to center. And the same thing with the Taurus new moon, 4:01 a.m. If you can be asleep, that would be fantastic. If you are up, just taking that time as something for you is going to be very beneficial. And it's like reading a book, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, things like that are just very calm, very settling, watching something on TV. If you are asleep, your dreams are going to be leading you to answers that you have been seeking, things that have been out of balance within your own self. Now, on September, I don't know why September came up. With the Sagittarius full moon, this is on June 5th, and it says, look at the bigger picture. And you're going to be very drawn to the bigger picture as you embrace the extremes. Because in the Queen of the Moon cards, this is the hot moon. In the almanac, this is the strawberry moon. There's a sweetness to this moon that is embraced by the passion and the power of Sagittarius energy, of that fire energy. This is going to be something you're very drawn to. We can see it here in your cards. And you're going to see that as you're moving forward, you might actually find this to be a very calming, centering time from the changes that you are taking on that you've taken on during this lunar cycle. The spirit animals and the totem animals for this time are the beaver spirit and the elk spirit. I don't have an elk in my cards, so the antelope is stepping in. Now, the beaver spirit represents ingenuity, persistence, and achievement. So you're going to be looking at different ways to achieve your goals, to move forward. Now, the beaver spirit says here, lay a solid foundation. And that's what you're doing. You're also looking at where the foundation isn't solid, at the cracks, at the hardships, at the pains, at the disappointments, things that have unsteadied your foundational self. And those are going to be things that you are taking time with, that you are really looking at, and you're really looking at yourself a lot more deeply than before. This moves you to the elk spirit, which is one of the strongest totem animals to have. Its strength, its stamina, its endurance, its patience in relationships, which is very important, especially with all the lockdown and everything like that that's been going on. You need to have patience within your relationships, and you might find that your relationships have been indeed tested during this time. And you're also going to see that life is speeding up. Things are moving forward. You're speeding towards your goals. You really have these set ideas of what you want. And this is beautiful. These totem animals are absolutely beautiful for May because it leads you to the totem animals of June, which are so contrasting, but so empowering. I absolutely adore them. So we have the deer spirit and we have the eagle spirit. The deer spirit says, bring a gentle touch. And it shows us here gentleness, but without defenselessness. It shows us when we need to be strong and when we need to be brave without having to do so all the time. And it's saying that by embracing this gentle touch and bringing it to the forefront of our minds and ourselves, we bring out a natural beauty and a sense of innocence that has been lost before. And as you're moving forward in this beauty and in this understanding, you have the eagle spirit coming in. And this says spirit has your back, which is absolutely exciting because the eagle spirit, eagles signify man's flight to the divine, like man searching and reaching the divine, because eagles can fly higher than any other bird. Eagles are also better sight predators than human beings are. All birds of prey are better sight hunters than humans, and humans are apex sight hunters. They are A++. We are only surpassed by birds of prey. So you're going to see something that flies higher than you and that sees better than you, moves forward, and has your back. And that's going to be something that's brilliant. It really helps you focus on your freedom, on your courage as you look ahead, the importance for personal honesty, for speaking your truth and manifesting your truth, and the thoughtfulness in your principles, being thoughtful about what you stand for and what you stand to. Now all of this leads you to a tower time, which I know you're going to sit there and say, Dane, what a bunch of bull. A tower time, everything falls apart. It's kind of like Humpty Dumpty. All the king's horses and all the king's men can put you back together again. But that's not it. You know what's so cool about Humpty Dumpty? I'm just going to take a moment. Is that they never say Humpty Dumpty's an egg at all in that whole nursery rhyme. And I think that's really poignant. Because we as human beings, we fall just like Humpty Dumpty. And we will never be the way we once were. And so no matter how much force, no matter how much strength, no matter how much money you have, and that's all the king's horses and all the king's men, you have the strength of the king behind you, will not put you back together the same way. And that's what this time is for you. It's a time of regrowth. Yeah, it's a time of growth, but also regrowth. A sense of becoming so much more after a hibernation, after a sense of being pulled back than you were before. It comes to you by embracing your strength and embracing your power, embracing what you divinely and diligently want. And as you're moving forward in this truth, as you're moving forward in this understanding, you see that divinity has pushed you out of your comfort zone. And you've been guarded by your angels. And you might say, oh, Dane, if you knew what I had been through, you would absolutely understand that I had not been guarded by my angels. You have. You have. You have, and it's a way that says, I'm not going to shield you from pain. That's not their job. It is saying that I am here for you when you call on me, to offer comfort, support, to back you, and to help you fly to new heights and reach new goals. I am here for you. And that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And you are going to see that, yes, things have been hard, frustrating, overwhelming, it's getting me choked up actually, that things have been a lot. And you've been through this time of chaos. But chaos breeds creation, and it's creating within you a powerful force, a powerful sense of self, a powerful identity that is guarded and guided by your angels. This is a fantastic time to start an angel journal. You know, if you like to write things out, if you're that type of person, then it's like, write it out. Have this conversation with you and your angels. Sit there and say, me, dot, dot, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I don't know why, and you're looking at it. And then give your angel a name. My angel's name is Imani, right? And sit there and say, okay, Imani says, you're feeling overwhelmed because you've taken on too much. You might sit there and think, well, that's weird. And then ask it again. Ask your angels things. Delve deeper. Make it like a play. If you need to, make it like a play. Make it like you're reading a script. And look at it and say, but why? Build this dialogue between you and your angels. And think of it as a script. Think of it as your angel script. If you don't want to think of it as something severely connected with you, just think of it as a free-form angel script. Or if you like to talk things out, I like to talk things out much more than writing them down. And so have a conversation with your angels. Ask them the questions. And you'll see the thought that comes into your head first. It's like, that's the one you should be focusing on. Because what you're doing here is you're balancing the scales. It's going to be so easy for you during this time to have the scales tipped, to look at transformation and see it as a burden, and to really think, I just don't have time for this. What is this nonsense? So with the Six of Pentacles, it's like, balance the scales. Balance what you desire, what you need, and the way you need to move forward, because you are transforming. And you will see that as you transform, you are drawn to the sacred light and the sacred dark. Because butterflies, though they are drawn to flowers, and you'll see them, fluttering about them, they're also drawn to carcasses. And you would see them fluttering about a dead body. So here, it is that truth too. What is beautiful isn't only beautiful. There is an underbelly to it. And you're looking at it. You're also understanding that you need to have a symbiotic relationship with things. They need to be two ways. If it's only one way, if you're putting all the work and nobody's giving back, that is going to be something that you need to look at and say, why? How? What for? And with the Four of Cups, you have gifts around you that the angels are bringing. Angels, your spirit guides, divinity is bringing you. Look at them. They're going to be things that you might very well take for granted. You might think, oh, this isn't a gift. Oh, this isn't powerful. Oh, what meaning does this have to me? And you're going to see that as you're moving forward, you are claiming the gifts that are being given. You are seeing the deeper meaning, the deeper truth, the deeper sense of power that is guiding you forward. And as you do so, you start taking care of yourself, because that's going to be something that you see here. You have the Four of Cups, and then the Five of Wands. I like that progression of the four and then the five. And you're going to see that as you see things clearly, you embrace a queenliness that is very important, and embracing of your power, of your passion, of your destiny, of what you desire. And it has things falling apart on you. And as it falls apart, you look at yourself in a way and you just think, there's not enough. There is not enough to go around. There is not enough to do what's important to me. There is not enough. And so as you're going through this transformation here, you really need to look at the gifts that are being given, because you will find that the gifts that are being given are by your angels, and your angels have your back, are leading you forward, are showing you the time and the place for the evolutions, right? For the understandings. And it leads you to becoming the magician. It leads you to embracing the strength. Just as when you balance the scales, you are going to see life have a shake to it. It's like, my goodness, what is going on here? And as it shakes, as things fall apart and rebuild and become something more, you might not think it's better, but it's going to become something different and something more than where you stand right now. It leads you to the Ten of Pentacles. It leads you to prosperity, success, abundance, bounty, what you value as much as money coming into your life. And as it does so, as you have this beauty coming in, as you have wealth that lasts for generations, and it might not be you have a fortune and you're able to have generations inherit it. It might not be that at all. It's very likely that it's not. What it is having an inheritance that is worth its weight in gold. It can be of personal achievement. It can be of love, laughter, beauty, joy. And you see that there's a magic to you, that there's a power to you. Because you are looking at the God's head that lies within you. Now, with the magician, I'm seeing the magician as an alchemist. In alchemy, people dedicated their whole lives to finding the mystery of how to turn lead into gold. And when you are looking at how to turn lead into gold, you can sit there and say, well, that's a magic fairy story. It's never going to happen. But if you look at the human psyche as turning lead into gold, turning yourself from something that might not be seen as very valuable to someone who is astoundingly valuable, that's a completely different story. And that's the transformation of a lifetime. And that's what you're embracing here. You are looking at the 4 elemental sides of the self, the mind, the spirit, the passions, the desires. And you are going to see yourself moving towards your goals, playing towards your strength. And that is going to be something that people take note of. That is going to be something that people see within you. And they want to emulate it themselves. So this may not be for your generations that you are, weaving this tale. Or not just for your generations, but for the people around you who are inspired by you, who take the spark of magic and put it into their lives and start living it, start moving towards the message of their prosperity, their bounty, and their beauty. Now, the thing to be mindful of here, Capricorn, is that you are going to be fighting different aspects of yourself. You are going to be seeing what you need, what you want, what you desire, but also what is holding you back, what you don't want about you. And there's going to be this battle. And this battle is internal for the different faces of you. And to really find and embrace the truth in the center, the centering being that guides you forward. And as you do so, you are going to stand and have to decide what battles to fight. And this also comes back to the taking on too much. So if you fight every battle, if you stand against every offense that happens, you'll be exhausted. I mean, people speak, out of their behind all the time. And you're sitting there and you're looking at them. And you're like, did you really have to say it? Did you really have to say it like that? What the heck are you doing here? Kind of thing. You're going to embrace the gentleness of the deer, the hardworking aspect and ingenuity of the beaver, the stamina, the grace, the determination, of the elk, and the far-sighted understanding and spiritual guidance of the eagle. And as you do so, you're going to see that you have clear sight because you are looking at all those aspects of yourself. You're bringing a gentle touch, and you're saying, I can win. I can win this internal battle by knowing what I stand for. And simply what you stand for, you can boil it down to, I stand for happiness. If it does not lead to a happiness that I want within my life, I am not going to partake in it. And as you stand for that happiness, you stand for empowerment. You can boil it down to one word. You can say, I stand for wealth. And then if it doesn't add to your wealth, financially or spiritually, you could be like, it's not going to be in my life. What do you stand for? What do you want? I stand for peace. All right, well, how do you bring peace into your life? That's your hill. Stand for it. That's what means the most to you. Because you have your angels guiding you, and you have the power for it. What is it that you want? And as you see this, and as you release the negativity, you are going to find, and as you embrace compassion, you're going to find that your world starts to change. You might very well feel like you're on a roller coaster ride. That's no joke. That is no joke. You might feel like you have these beautiful highs and these magnificent lows and everything in between, and you're looking at things and you're like, what the heck is going on here? With the Wheel of Fortune, you are looking at what you want, but also the changes of seasons. The fact that, yes, you will have highs and lows, lefts and rights. You feel like you're on a roller coaster ride. And as you're on this roller coaster ride, you are seeing what you desire and what you need. You are looking at the strength of self, the purpose of dedication. And you are embracing a 180. And as you embrace this 180, things fall apart and you choose your battles. But you gain so much more than you ever thought. And as you embrace this 180, you look at your passions. You look at your desires. You look at what it is that you want and where it is that you want to be. The Queen of Wands is our instinctual self. It is also the desire to turn inward, to look at what we want, and not to sit there and say, I'm worried about what everybody else sees of me. The Queen is like, no, I want to know what I see of myself and the power that I am stepping forward in. Because as you claim this, as you see this, you're going to start to see the gifts that divinity brings you and the way your angels guide you forward. Let's see what your Queen of the Moon cards have to say. How will Capricorn be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Capricorn be affected by the May 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. There's a resilience of your creative self to the changes that you are invoking in your life, but also that you are calling forward. What you're seeing is bringing to fruition the growth that you desire to create the world that you want to live in. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Spirit just said to me, it's a sentence. Read it as a sentence, and that's really quite beautiful. How will Capricorn be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Capricorn be affected by the May 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Strong Libra presence. Balance is going to be very, very, very important to you. Strong Taurus presence within this reading. So you're going to be very impacted by the new moon, which is on the 22nd of May. Creation. You are creating change, and change is creating you. Do not be afraid of it. Embrace it. It leads you. And I know it sounds hard to embrace change, or you might think, oh, it sounds easy. But this is a change that takes you from your comfort zone, from the world that you think, okay, I want to be here. And this is divinity saying, I'm kicking you out of the nest. You're going to be moving forward. You're going to be moving towards something that you might feel is completely against your sense of comfort. And that is going to move you forward in a way that you hadn't anticipated. It doesn't mean that you have to do things that you hate at all. It just means that you're going to see your comfort zone broadened. Yeah, you are. Because you're going to start doing something, and you're going to think, I can't do this. And then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. It is going to come that way. And it leads you to knowing that you're good enough. And I always think that sounds rather condescending to say, you're good enough. It's like, don't worry, kid, you're good enough. And it's like, no. What it means is that in this moment, at this time, you're enough. You are enough. You don't have to bring more to the table. You don't have to learn more. You don't have to sit there and think, oh, okay, I can maybe get this one time, maybe one day. But it's saying right here where you are, you're here for a reason. And as you're here for a reason, you are going to see yourself developing, becoming, and really moving forward. And you will have an understanding that your angels are right there with you as you do develop, as you do move forward, and as you do evolve. There's a resilience to you that will be added to once you put down the weight that you are carrying, the life tree that you are carrying, and you balance the scales and you embrace your transformation. It leads you to really starting to give your dreams a practical plan as you're looking at the blessings around you. Your dreams need a practical plan. You are looking for a sense of practicality. You're a Capricorn. You're looking for a sense of practicality anyway. But you're going to see by the 22nd of May, you're like, I need a plan. I need a list. I need an understanding, a schedule, something to look at where I'm like, oh, okay, this is what I need. This is what I want. This is how I'm moving forward. And as you do so, change comes forward. And it's change around your idea of wealth. It's change around money situations or what you value as much as money situations. And as this change comes in, you see yourself moving forward in power. But you also see that it takes a lot to really come to the end of this cycle and to embrace what you desire. And as you do so, you have the new moon in Libra saying a new romantic cycle begins. As you start to see that you're on this journey of transformation, that you are embracing the elemental aspects of yourself, and you are moving forward. You enter a new romantic cycle. It can be with somebody in your life. You find a person that just totally fits you. And it can also be with being in love with your own life, your own self, and finding that there is new beauty, new joy to really where you want to be and to where you're heading. This leads you to fruition. You will bring to fruition that for which you most fear, or divinity will bring it to fruition. It doesn't mean it has to be big. It can mean that you get a small little taste of it. But be careful of the battles that you are fighting within your own mind, and the time that you are giving them, and the credence that you are giving fear's words. Because as you are moving forward, a win-win outcome is forecast. You can withstand this battle. Find your balance, and you will win. You will. It might not be the way you think you will win, but there's a win here. It moves you to knowing that you are good enough, that you are enough in this situation. And it brings you to a new romantic cycle within your life, a new sense of love and joy and beauty, which really has you growing as you embrace the 180. And as you grow, as you embrace this growth, you show the world the real you, as you embrace your passion, as you embrace your instinctual self. Your dreams need a practical plan, yes, but you are enough, and you can bring that practicality to the table. And you will bring that practicality to this table. Yeah. Your subconscious message from Luna is work through your fears. So this Scorpio moon is also going to be very intense for you because you have the Scorpio new moon showing up. So working through your fears brings you a surrendering to that which cannot be controlled and which was never yours to control. Yeah. You see, there's almost like a spirit animal right up there in the mountains. It's like seeing things with new beauty, new understanding, and surrendering to that beauty. Your subconscious message for this whole entire time is the Nine of Pentacles. Wealth, prosperity, bounty, abundance. And knowing that it is yours and that it is a part of you. I love that you have the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles at your roots. So you know that this prosperity is to be part of your life and is to guide you forward. Embrace it. Embrace it completely, and it will change everything. All right, Capricorn, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but life, love, life? Yeah, well, a beautiful life. Love, peace, and happiness. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I hope you all are staying safe and have a blessed moon. I love you all. Bye.